You know, it's getting close, before we take off Saturday. So, somewhat of a light day, split squad. I mean, we'll do a little bit of stuff on the field tomorrow, early game, noon. So, we'll be getting a lot done once we get back to Texas at our ballpark as far as fundamentals. So you'll see some lighter days here as we wrap this up.
So is Sunday like a total off day for the team? Like a mandated off day?
Yeah. We don't have to take Sunday. We could have taken the day before opening day.
Okay.
So we had an option there, and we decided to take Sunday when we get in town. So it's kind of how we did it last year. We want the guys just to get out the day before opening day and play some catch. We got some bullpens and things, so just give them a chance to catch their breath.
How important is tonight for Kumar Rucker?
Well, I think they're all important now. But to your point, yeah, I think it would be important for him to have a good outing. I think for his psyche, we have not decided which way we're going to go here with the two starting spots that have opened up, and he's certainly right there. And so I think in that regard, yeah, this would be big for him to, give us some innings, quality innings, and have a good outing as we get close to starting this season. This is the time when you want to see guys getting locked in and getting where they need to be.
I mean, what do you want to see from him in a start like today?
Have his good breaking ball today. I think that would be big for him. The fastball, the velo's been there, but the command of the breaking ball is just not quite there yet, but it's gotten tighter. He's throwing it a little bit harder now. But as I say so many times, just command. That's big for him, just like all pitchers. And so that hasn't been there to this point as well as he needs it, as well as he would want it. So I think tonight would be big for him. I do think he started behind a little bit, but I think he's caught up now. So I'm looking forward to watching this outing for that reason.
And he's rotation, or like you wouldn't consider putting him in the bullpen?
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah, I'm not saying we're putting him in there.
Right.
Yeah,
He'd be.
Right. So yeah, I think he's an option. He could give you length. We've talked about that's going to be important for us as we start this season. To have guys that can give us 3, 4, even 5 innings down there.
A lot of guys scheduled to pitch in either game today are seemingly relievers, seemingly on the edge of making the opening day roster. Is there anything that these guys can do today that will help you in your decision-making process?
Well, you get this late in spring and you have some open spots. It's where you probably evaluate more than ever. You don't really do it the first week or two of camp, but as you get close to opening day, yeah, I think these are all important outings for these guys. I mean, we're hoping that they, as I mentioned, find their groove out there, whether you're a position player or pitcher, and so we get some close calls. So I think I think it's important for all these guys how they throw.
How much can the last week of camp turn the tides, I guess, in you guys' decision making?
Well, I mean, that question gets asked. What is it they need to do? So it can turn the tide when you have some guys that are pretty even. Could be in a starting situation. Could be the difference between that or going to the bullpen. The bullpen guys, we have a couple spots open. We have some guys throwing the ball really well. So, the last week can play a part in that.
So Bochy, is that how we say the name?
Bosley, isn't it?
Bosley?
Yeah.
Bosley, okay.
Just like it sounds.
Just like it looks, you mean?
Spell it just like it sounds.
I'm not sure that I follow, but, so I don't know squat about him other than what's in the media guide. What has he done? What does he bring? What's his competitive angle or edge for you guys?
Yeah, he pitched in Nashville for a friend of mine, Rick Sweet. And so talking to him, in the past he's done he's done a good job in the bullpen. He can start. He's a swing guy, and so he's got some good pitches. He's got a good fastball. He's got a good angle on it. He's bumped 95 here, one outing. So he's got velocity. He has a good breaking ball. He attacks his zone. Has a good changeup. So he's got a nice mix out there, and a guy that can give you a start. If you need that. Resilient. He's come in thrown a couple innings and says, I'm good to go today already. We haven't done that to him, but he's had a nice camp, and I think he's opened up some eyes. Guys like him and Murphy, they've come in and they've done what you want them to do, and that's attack the zone and they pitch with a lot of confidence and do all they can to make this club, and he's been right there.
So he's another one of those guys who can give you a little length in the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. He's a guy we stretched out. I don't know what we'll have for him tonight. Really depends on how the first two guys do. I'm talking about Rocker and Dunning.
What do you remember about Hauser when you were in the other league, and then?
Yeah, good fastball, good sinker, on the arm side, but he had a nice arm, big arm. So didn't get to see him a lot, not being in the same division, but he's got a breaking ball that I think can be a really good one. At times getting it over, that's an area where he can get a little bit better at. Because I think it can be a big pitch for him to get him off the fastball when you have a guy that throws 95, 96. So that's always, I think, important to get the off speed over consistently.
Just he was kind of overshadowed by a couple guys in that rotation, Burns and Woodruff, but kind of look at it, it's like he mashed them, he was durable. He was a pretty key part of that Milwaukee rotation.
Yeah, he was. No, he was. Yeah. He's had some great games in the major league, so he's got a track record. Yeah. That's what you like when a guy has that on his resume, success in the major leagues, whether it's starting or relieving.
I'm going back to the other night, the kind of crazy play where Evan Carter hits the pop-up, it's not caught. When those random things happen that maybe happen once every 3 years, do you the next day, since you're in spring training, do you go over with your team, like, if that happens and you're not sure, is Josh Young supposed to look at the umpire? Who is he supposed to kind of get his recognition from that he's caught it or it's not a catch?
Yeah, well, no doubt we do. Yeah, next day, talked about it in the multi-purpose room, went through the play, showed him video and what we should have done. And what's amazing about that play is they got it right. I guess I'm sorry if I say it, but we have a little video thing in front of it, so I was trying to see if, because the new one, they're both not out, trying to see which one was out. Because if the throw would have gone to second and before Carter passed him, then Carter would have been safe. But it was pretty close play, but they got it right. So Young was a base runner. And so great job by the umpires. Now whether it's a guess or they could tell, without replay, that's pretty amazing. They got that one right. But getting back to your point, we went through it. Young, you cannot sprint back like that. You're not going to tag on that ball. So you get plenty of time to get back to first base. So as you're going back, you're watching the play. And, he admitted he sprinted back. And Evan had no chance. Evan did his little turn and and he was going so hard that he passed him, and you could see it. He went, oh, geez. So anyway, those are great teaching moments.
Yeah.
You know, you can't let them pass by, you know, because they are for you too, you know, because no matter how well you know the rule book, you know, there's things you got to go, okay, what, you know, so you're trying to get it straight too, and so it's good for all of us.
Those are kind of a blessing to get those plays down here, right? Those weird, quirky things.
Yeah, I think so. I always say it, you know, it's just like two men on base, you know, that you got to remind them because they're on base, and all right, which one of us gets this base, you know, you go over it, you got to keep reminding them.
Yeah.
Do you have to remind them the infield fly rule? Like, if the ball falls, you don't have to run. The batter's out.
Yeah, you do. And remind our fielders they can drop that ball
Yeah.
and try to get them to run.
Have you ever had an infielder drop the ball purposely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny, you know, we've had where they take off, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, it's hard to do it in the dirt, you know, but once it's, you know it's in the grass, it's a lot easier.
So, Bochy, I feel like we've been distracted by the starting pitching situation for about a week now with everything going on. Has there been anything that's been helpful at all for you guys trying to figure out the back end of the pen and how that's going to play out, or is this again just something we're going to have to probably sort out on the fly during the regular season?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what, we talked, we got back from the game yesterday, we talked quite a bit about, you know, where we're at, not just on the pitching side, the bullpen side, but on the position player side, because we do have a spot there, maybe two, and so we still, this will be going on these next 4 or 5 days. Rocker, of course, throwing tonight, lighter, you know, and there's a lot of different scenarios that could happen there. We need length in the bullpen, we know that, but we could have an opener, things until we get this thing sorted out. Of course, Corbin, he will face some hitters there. Once we get back, we'll see where he's at, so he'll be a player in this too, and we'll have a better idea how long it's going to take for him. He may say, I'm ready to go, but you know, I think he's going to need some work.
Has his wife had the baby?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be today, but I haven't heard.
But I have to tell you that you had Trevor Hoffman at one point in your career, and you like having one guy. Is that possible right now, or is it definitely going to be committee?
Well, I like for it to happen.
Yeah.
Makes life a lot easier. There's no getting around it. We saw what Yates did for us last year, and it helps you keep other things in order. And when you have two guys like we had last year, what a tremendous help. You know, you got the 8th and 9th covered, and even the 7th when Robertson would come in sometimes. But it could evolve into that. But I think it'll play itself out. What I do like is we have some guys that, you know, they pitch in the 8th and 9th for a few years now. And so I think, you know, we have a sense of comfort with if a guy needs a day off, somebody else can pick him up there.